Yeah. So, Ron, as our coach, well, I'm not going to ask on behalf of me and Al, what posture towards women should we even have, knowing what you know about us? Because I have no idea at this point.
Well, I think you should have the posture of Al. You shouldn't be. I think it would probably be beneficial not to seek, and really, you both need to do your own healing with the Lord.
Okay, well,
And
okay, that's where I'm at. That
and
was
here
also my decision.
and here's a suggestion. I think this will work very well for Al, and again, I think it will work for anyone. Here's an interesting thing I experienced is we're all I even use the language of the battlefield of the mind and the body is the front line of the war, right?
Mhm.
But here's the thing that I've switched it that's true. The front line is in the body and the battlefield's in the mind. The war is won by Jesus. But here's the thing I think we get wrong often. And I cover this briefly in my Substack on fasting is remember what Jesus said about how we are to lead. You guys recall that? Uh, he says like the pagan rulers lord it over their subjects and call it benevolence, but not so with you. The first among you must be the servant of the others, of everyone else. Like he flips leadership, right? He flips
Mhm.
it from lordship over people and domineering and tyranny to serving those you lead. Here's the thing. I think he meant the body too. We're not fighting our bodies and beating it into submission. We're leading our bodies with our mind and spirit in a servant or servant leader mentality. So we're not at war with our body. Our body just needs to be led. And the
Hmm.
way the Christian leads is through servant leadership because we are mind and body. We are spirit and soul. Yeah, and that's how God made us. We can't escape this body.
So kind of treat the body, mind, spirit as like the Trinity type of thing, and one leads the other, one helps the other.
Well, the the body is the servant, but how do we lead? As a Christian, we lead by servant leadership. So instead of beating the body into submission or being at war with the body or boxing the body, we're
Mhm.
leading the body. And
Yeah, I'm just trying to draw a parallel between the Trinity because that seems to be how the universe works. Is so you can think of like my spirit is like the Father, my body is being like the Son, and the mind is being like the Holy Spirit. And you know how Jesus would pray to the Father for his will to be done because Jesus wanted to be subservient to the Father. It could say, you know, as the Father to my body, I need to lead it um, as it should go. And
yeah,
my body should want to do, you know, it doesn't want to naturally follow.
well, uh, I have an actual structured conception of my own in this regard, but I don't want to drop off into deep metaphysics and philosophy. But because that's where it goes. But here's the thing that I discovered in this idea is whenever I started thinking about it this way, where as the body is not my enemy, it's I'm leading my body. It's my servant. And as a Christian, I am a servant leader. I don't just yield to my body, I am leading it. But I don't beat it and tyrannize it. I lead it through servant leadership. And here's what I'm getting at. So where I really translated this was in running, because the thing about trauma, right? is one of the first things that happens in trauma is we check out. Mentally, we go, right? We have to escape. It's too much for us to handle. We have to get out of here. Here's the thing about that traumatic experience, though. The body can't go anywhere. It's still there. It's experiencing the trauma, and your body remembers the trauma. Whenever you get into another situation that reminds you of that trauma, your body feels it. It relives it. Your mind might not realize it because it wasn't there, but your body does.
Yeah.
And so the healing of that comes from not checking out. The body was abandoned and it knows it. It knows that you abandon it whenever the traumatic experience reoccurs. So the thing to do is to be able to be in that moment and be present with the body.
That's interesting. Because that reminds me of one of the reasons why the body thrashes like it does is because it knows that it doesn't get to live forever like your spirit does. And so it tries to get as much as it can. But but it's also has to deal with like what you're saying. It can't escape in the moment either. It has to stay there. So it almost gets the bad card both times.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it makes sense for it to try to get as much benefit out of every moment as it can because it's always getting the bad card.
Yeah. And I really learned that I really experienced this and learned this for myself through running, right? So whenever I'd start running and it would get hard, often I would check out. But then whenever I started getting this concept, I was like, okay, I'm here. I would start coaching. I conceived of it by coaching my body. I was saying I'm coaching my body. I would start talking to my body. I would be like, okay, I feel the pain. I'm with you. I'm not going anywhere. I refused to check out. And this led me to what I call relational presence with the body, having a relationship with the body and being present as a servant leader. So instead of checking out whenever it got painful while I was running, I would talk to my body. I would be like, I feel the pain. I know it hurts. I'm here. I'm with you. We've got this far to go, or we're doing this. I'm not doing this to punish you. I'm doing that. We're doing this to be better. And an interesting thing I experienced over time is I wasn't coaching my body. I was participating in at least a form of somatic therapy.
Yeah.
And what happened was as I developed that relational presence with my mind and body, I had a very interesting experience. So I've struggled with quitting smoking, right? But
Hmm.
I've ran 42 miles as well. And I was doing a hard running training and my body, it didn't, wasn't like a word, but it spoke to me. And it was very interesting what it said because I had developed this relational presence with the body, and this is my idea. And it felt safe enough to communicate to me truthfully. And what it said was, okay, you're asking me to do this running, this long running, this hard running, but you're choosing to smoke. How fair is that? My body actually levied a justice claim against me because it trusted me to hear it and to not reject it or to beat it for speaking up, but to actually communicate and hear and accept what it's saying. And this may be sounding crazy, but this is my experience. And that's when I realized this is a form of somatic therapy. By putting myself in a hard physical task and staying present with my body, I was actually experiencing somatic therapy like healing because I was teaching my body, yes, this is traumatic, but I'm not checking out. I'm with you. And my body started to trust me more because it's not abandoned, it's not alone, because I was developing that relational presence. And it's, it's helping, it's not done, but this has been my experience. And and from that, uh, I had a I was in a tight spot because I had avoided maintenance on my truck. Like my front driver's side tire, I knew something was going on there, but I guess I rationalized if I ignore it, nothing's wrong. And I went to work one day, and as I was driving to work, it felt really weird, and I was like, "That's not good." And so I pulled into the job site, and as I was driving slowly in the back roads out to lunch, it was making a lot of noise. So I took my phone and like videoed it. And as I was driving, I could see the wheel go whoop, 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 whoop. The wheel was about to fall off. The wheel hub had gone out. And so uh, I drive it to the gas station. I call my wife. I'm like, we need to get that expedition relicensed and insured because this wheel's about to fall off, and I don't want to do this whole work on the vehicle you're driving thing again. And my wife, she's my age. She's 47. She's going through menopause, right? And menopause causes a lot of problems, emotional regulation, hormones. And I'm sympathetic to. I haven't always been, but I am. Anyway, she shows up to the gas station. She goes in and this is a Casey's gas station. And they have these cold pressed juices that she loves so much, but she goes into this one in town and they don't have it. And it's just the worst thing that ever happened to her. She gets back in the car. I'm like facing this. I gotta get my truck home, and the wheel may fall off on the middle of a highway, a 5-lane highway.
Uh-huh.
And she knows this, but she gets back in the car and like does this giant rant about they don't have my juice anymore, and this is the world is corrupt and everything is horrible. And I'm sitting there thinking, my wheel's about to fall off and I gotta drive it home.
Hmm.
But what I did in the moment through this practice of this somatic therapy of running and relational presence is I was like, okay, that's how she feels. She's in menopause. I understand. That's her emotion, not mine. I don't have to own it. I'm here with her. That's okay. That's her emotion, not mine. And, I had my annoyance. I'm like, I'm facing real danger here, and you're pissed off about some juice. But I was able to be present in myself and the moment and with her and say to myself, because one of the problems I've always had is I take on other people's emotions. And I was like, that's her emotion. I don't own it. I don't have to take it on. And I breathed and I stayed present and everything was all right, which was great because it actually ended up being training for the drive home where my wheel might actually fall off. And as I was driving home in that moment, so I was in a moment of real danger, right? Real
Hmm.
physical danger. That wheel could fall off in the middle of a 5-lane highway, people driving 80 miles an hour because they're crazy, and it could hit another car and kill somebody or cause a wreck, or someone it drop me in the middle of the road and freaking 18-wheeler run over me. There was a very real threat, physical threat in the situation. And I spoke to my body. I spoke to myself. I was like, I feel it. I feel how you're feeling. I understand. There is very real danger, but it's not here yet. We're okay right now. And if the danger does happen, we're together. I'll be with it I will be with you in it. And I prayed and I breathed and I was stressed out and it was okay. But
Mhm.
all of that tied together, I was able to be present with my body in this actual threatening situation. And I had the presence to say, look, I understand there is a very real threat here, but it's not here yet. There's a potential of a very real threat here, but it's not here yet. We don't have to act like it is. We're okay. Everything's fine right now. And I experienced that through running.
That's good. Yeah, I gotta bounce a little early to go pick up my kid.
Uh,
Um, this was excellent. This
Yeah.
was really good. Sorry we didn't get to the lesson.
no, that's fine. These are the best conversations.
Oh, this was no, I got a whole page of notes here. So I appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get going here in a second too.
Yeah.
Meeting with a friend, but yes, I agree. This has been a good conversation. I appreciate you, Ron.
Yeah, this was really good.
All right. Have a
All right,
good
brother.
day. Good
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
Talk to you later. Bye.
I'm talking.